Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So, by now, everybody knows what has happened to Wendy Williams. It's very unfortunate, very sad to be completely honest. Ever since about 2020, her health unfortunately took a turn for the worse. We know that already. And the show ended up being handed over to Sherry Shepherd in her absence. And it didn't look good, to be honest. I was really afraid for her, to be completely honest. And to make things worse, of course, she ended up getting a divorce from her husband, now ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, which everybody can assume didn't do anything to help what she was already going through. And on top of that, she went through a lot of stuff because of her mental state that ended up having her money tied up. Now, let me say this first. Whatever you do, please be careful with who you entrust your money to. Now, I get it, all banks, they are banks. What can I say? But be very mindful of the financial institution you choose to bank with and the person who you have or people who you have over your money. Be mindful of the fact that at any time, said bank can tell you, well, we no longer want to do services with you, despite how long you've been with them, despite not having any overdrafts or minimal overdrafts. They have the power to decide that kind of stuff, and they can freeze your assets if they think that possibly something shady, you've been making a lot of money lately, they can't figure out where it's coming from. They can freeze your assets, possibly. They can do stuff like that, unfortunately, for whatever reasons they see fit. But anyways, it's to my knowledge and my understanding that Wendy Williams did everything she could to make sure that they did not freeze her bank accounts. But unfortunately, somewhere along the way, someone said, I guess, due to an investigation, that she was not of sound mind, so to speak, allegedly, to be operating with her own money. And also because they felt like she was being taken advantage of some kind of way financially. So they put a financial guardian, so to speak, over her and over her money. So she didn't really have access to her own money by herself the way she wanted to. Now, allegedly, her son made an unauthorized purchase with one of her cards, and that unfortunately added to the suspicion that they had allegedly that she was being financially taken advantage of and basically made the situation worse. Now, I can't say that that was a nail in the coffin that made them basically say, we're putting somebody over your money and you can't get access to it like you really want to now, unless you can get the authorization through one of our, financial guardians, so to speak. I can only say that allegedly, according to the information that's been put out there, that might have been a contributing factor. And to make things even worse, he ended up getting evicted out of his apartment, and she can't afford to help him like she wants to, I would imagine. And I know a lot of people are saying, why can't he just get a job? He's a 22-year-old adult now. But at the same time, and at the end of the day, that's her son. So I would imagine she's going to do whatever she can as a mother to help her son. But it doesn't stop there. Not only is her money tied up in Wells Fargo, and she can't even get to it or access it directly the way she wants to. At the moment, or just recently rather, her ex-husband is in the media talking about he ain't got no more alimony checks. He can't pay his this, he can't pay his that. And I'm failing to understand where he misplaced his humanity and his empathy, compassion, and where he found the audacity. Wendy Williams has been having trouble with her health, mental and physical, has been in and out of rehab, has been going through what she's been going through with her son and her money, and all he's concerned about is his alimony checks. Let's go back down memory lane, shall we? He wouldn't even be in this predicament if he wouldn't have cheated on her and got the woman pregnant that he cheated on her with. Now, allegedly, I'm not 100% sure, but allegedly, Wendy Williams had already known that he was messing around on her. But I think what broke the camel's back was when he got her pregnant. Can we just say, honestly, that Kevin Hunter had it pretty made when he was married to Wendy? Let's just be honest. For the most part, allegedly, wasn't she making all the money? So all he really had to do was be a decent husband, or at least a smart one. But he couldn't be either, and instead chose degeneracy. All he had to do was be a decent and smart husband. And he literally had it made, let's just be honest. But then he chose to do what he wanted to do. He chose to step out of the marriage. He chose to get that woman pregnant. And then they ended up getting a divorce. And some people even think that that's what contributed to her mental and health decline. I can't say for sure, I can only say allegedly, but there are some people who do think that all of what he did caused that. So not only did possibly he cause, well, let's just be honest, he did cause the rift in their relationship. Then when they got a divorce, he ended up having to take alimony from her, which I don't even understand. I'm not going to even go into why in the world she's paying him money to take care of him and they're no longer together. That's a whole nother soapbox to get on some other time that I'm not going to get on this video. But the fact that now she can't get to her money because her mental state has declined even more, her health has declined even more, the bank has it tied up, which, like I said, possibly all been contributed by him because of what he did. So now, because of him, he's no longer with her to be able to have it made in the shade with her because she was mostly making the money in that relationship. But now he can't even get the alimony checks that he feels like he's entitled to because she can't get access to her money. Is that not crazy and ironic? And you know what the sad part about all this is? Like I said, I'm going to try not to get on the whole why he's even still trying to milk her for all this money and they're no longer together. But why in the world is he whining about money that doesn't belong to him instead of getting a job and taking care of himself? And second of all, didn't he get allegedly some money from the initial split? Where did all that money go? Why didn't he invest it? Why didn't he get a job to take care of the woman that he clearly wanted instead of Wendy? Oh, and if you thought it stopped even there, think again, because the man had the audacity to even take credit for Wendy Williams' success. He basically said that if it wasn't for him, she wouldn't be where she was, and that was why he was entitled to those alimony checks and her money. And that's where the problem is right there. It's all about the money. Now, allegedly, some people said that he was upset with her because she worked all the time, that they didn't spend a lot of time together, etc., whatever, and that's why their relationship went down the trash. But honestly, if it was about not spending time with him and always working, then he should have walked away, gotten a divorce, and left her money alone. The fact that he's still going on about these alimony payments, despite the hell she's going through, proves to me and anybody else who wants to see it that it had nothing to do with allegedly her working too much and not spending any time with him or any excuse that he could come up with. It had everything to do with the money. Now, to make it even crazier, because she can't get access to her money the way she needs to, the way she wants to at any time, the courts allegedly put it in place that if she can't get to her money, or if she can't get her money untied up, I guess, at Wells Fargo, and because technically, allegedly, she doesn't really have an official job anymore, her alimony requirements may be modified, I'm assuming as in decreased, or even terminated, because if she can't get access to her money, then she can't pay her alimony, obviously. So let's go back to the beginning. Because he couldn't be either a decent husband and not cheat on her and impregnate another woman and cause their divorce, allegedly, or at least be a smart husband because he knew she was raking in all the money, let's be honest, and he wanted that money, they ended up getting a divorce. Her mental and her physical health went to the trash, which then led for her to not be able to get her money, which now leads him to not be able to get anything at all because she can't pay him alimony without access to her money or to a job to keep making the money to pay him the alimony. One could allegedly say that he caused his own problems. Isn't that ironic? Like I said, crazily ironic. Just looking at this just makes me so disturbed, to be completely honest. Like, I'm still stuck on the he can't pay his this and that because he doesn't have alimony checks coming in anymore from a woman that he's divorced, or that divorced him because he cheated on her and impregnated the woman he cheated on her with, and she doesn't have access to her money or a job to be able to pay him the alimony. But he's just worried about the alimony, where he gonna sleep at, where he gonna eat at, what he gonna drive, what money he's gonna have. That's just disturbing. It really is. It really does seem like a don't bite the hand that feeds you situation. But I didn't say this before. People need to stop getting into relationships with people when they know good and blatantly well they want to live like single people. You don't get into a relationship with somebody, especially if, again, they're making most of the money in the relationship, and then participate in degenerate behavior and then whine when the consequences of your degenerate behavior come back to bite you in the butt. But anyways, y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comments below.